And welcome back. We are here courtside in Arthur Ashe Stadium where the man they call the greatest of all time, Roger Federer himself, the 20-time Grand Slam champion, has just taken the court to prepare for his match coming later this evening against John Millman, the 29-year-old Australian. Millman originally from Brisbane, Australia. This is his best showing in a Grand Slam to date. He had previously reached the third round in both Wimbledon and the Australian Open in 2016. Millman, a career high of number 49 in the world just a couple of weeks ago. Currently coming into the tournament ranked number 55 in the world. Roger Federer, of course, the world number 2. He's had a pretty easy path to get here thus far. Federer has not dropped a set yet in this U.S. Open. He came out firing against the young lefty Nishioka of Japan. That a relatively easy victory for Roger Federer. He then faced the flashy Frenchman Benoit Paire in the second round. That another straight set victory for Roger Federer before he came out against the mercurial, sometimes moody, but incredibly talented Aussie Nick Kyrgios in the third round. That another straight set victory for Roger Federer. Of course, we all saw that shot he hit around the net post, extending for that drop shot hit by Kyrgios. Now he'll face Millman to set up a possible, or actually not even possible anymore with Djokovic just winning his match here in Arthur Ashe Stadium, to set up a clash with Novak Djokovic in the quarterfinals. Roger Federer has 3 tournament wins on the year, of course highlighted by the Australian Open, where he defeated Marin Cilic in the final. He also reached the finals of the Masters 1000 in Indian Wells, as well as the Masters 1000 in Cincinnati. Roger Federer has 5 U.S. Open titles in his career. He won 5 straight from 2004 to 2008, but he hasn't won one in the decade since. He's lost in the finals a couple of times, however, including 2009, when his run of U.S. Opens was snatched by the then 21-year-old Argentine Juan Martín del Potro. Roger Federer regained his position of number 1 in the world back in February before losing it once again to Rafa Nadal. But in February, Roger became the oldest world number 1 in the 45-year history of the ATP rankings. He holds a record for most weeks at number 1 in the world, years since his debut at number 1 and years between stints at number 1 in the world. He has 20 Grand Slam titles, that an overwhelming record. Pete Sampras previously had the record for a number of years before Federer broke it, and now Rafa Nadal has surpassed the great American Sampras as well. Nadal with 17 slams. Federer with 30 career Grand Slam finals. Federer has been serving very well as of late. That's something that's developed quite a bit as he's matured as a player. He's in the Cincinnati Masters 1000 just a couple of weeks ago. Roger Federer held 100 straight service games before being broken 3 times in the final by Novak Djokovic, one of the great returners in tennis history. Federer started this season 17-0 before squandering 3 match points against Juan Martín del Potro in the Masters 1000 Indian Wells final. Roger Federer, now 37 years old, just turned 37 about 3 weeks ago, but still playing elite tennis, still moving incredibly well around the court. Such clean strokes, such incredible precision all around the court from Roger Federer. But of course, the possible matchup everyone is talking about that could come in the next round, a battle with Novak Djokovic. Djokovic, 13-time Grand Slam champ. He had gone over a year without a tournament win, gone nearly 2 years without a Grand Slam victory, but Djokovic pulled through, defeating Rafa Nadal in the semis and Kevin Anderson in the finals to win the Wimbledon crown this year. Federer and Djokovic have played 46 times in their career. Djokovic leads that series 24-22. Novak Djokovic leads the series 18-17 on hard court. They've played 15 times in Grand Slams. Novak Djokovic and Rafa Nadal, the only two players to defeat Roger Federer in consecutive Grand Slam titles. Djokovic ousted Federer in the 2010 U.S. Open as well as the 2011 Australian Open. He also did it in the 2015 Wimbledon Championships and the U.S. Open. Andy Murray, Rafa Nadal, and Novak Djokovic, the only players who have double-digit career wins over Roger Federer. Novak Djokovic, one of only two players, the other of course being Rafa Nadal, to have defeated Roger Federer in straight sets at a Grand Slam multiple times, and he's the only player to do it 3 times. That is certainly a matchup that all of us are looking forward to. Roger Federer and his opponent tonight, world number 55, John Millman, the 29-year-old Australian, have played once before in their careers. However, it's been a while. That came in 2015 at Millman's hometown tournament in Brisbane, Australia. That in the round of 16. Roger Federer winning a tough 3-set battle, dropping the first set to Millman. Millman without an ATP title in his career, but looking to make a run here at the U.S. Open. Roger Federer coming into the tournament with 98 career titles. That's good for second in the Open era behind Jimmy Connors. As we see Federer come into the net to take some volleys. His net play has been as superb as ever here in the U.S. Open. Of course, we saw quite a few net points, especially later in the match against Nick Kyrgios. Nick Kyrgios relying on the drop shot quite a bit in the latter sets, forcing Federer in, but Federer successfully able to close points from inside the service line. Tomorrow's order of play has officially been released. Want to update all of you with that. The first match here in Arthur Ashe Stadium starting at noon Eastern will be between defending champion Sloane Stephens, number 3 seed, and Anastasia Sevastova, 19 seed, followed by Juan Martín del Potro against top-ranked American John Isner. That coming not before 1:30 here in Arthur Ashe Stadium. The night session will feature some of the premier names of the sport. Serena Williams, the 17 seed and 23-time Grand Slam champion, will face off against Karolina Pliskova, the number 8 seed, followed by Rafa Nadal, the world number 1, against a familiar foe, Dominic Thiem, the number 9 seed from Austria. Thiem earning his first hardcourt victory over Kevin Anderson today, knocking out last year's finalist. Taking you around the grounds right now, Marin Cilic has just won the first set against David Goffin in a matchup of top 10 players. Cilic, the number 7 seed, Goffin, the number 10 seed. Cilic, a former U.S. Open champion, the big server. 7-6 first set for Cilic, and he's now up a break as well in the second set. We'll keep you posted on that match. Roger Federer has enjoyed a record 310 weeks at number 1 in the world, including a record 237 consecutive weeks from February 2nd, 2004 to August 17th, 2008. Roger Federer was the only man to be ranked number 1 in the world. Roger Federer second all-time in career wins with 1,168. Federer had 65 consecutive victories on grass between 2003 and 2008. Had a 41-match win streak overall between 2006 and 2007. He won 24 straight matches against top 10 opponents from 2003 to 2005. In that 2005 season, Federer went 81-4 on the year. Fun fact for you, Roger Federer has never retired in 1,641 matches on tour. He's one of 8 men to win all 4 majors, securing the career Grand Slam at the 2009 French Open. He's the 2nd oldest Grand Slam champion in the Open era, behind Ken Rosewall in the 1972 Aussie Open. He's also a 2-time Olympic medalist, Davis Cup champion. Truly not just one of the greatest tennis players of all time, but one of the most dominant athletes of all time is Roger Federer. We see him coached by another tennis legend, Ivan Ljubicic, the Croatian, a former French Open semifinalist, former number 3 player in the world. Ljubicic and Federer had quite a few battles themselves back during Ljubicic's playing days. Let us know in the comments your prediction for the Roger Federer-John Millman battle coming this evening. Also, let us know your thoughts on a possible Novak Djokovic-Roger Federer quarterfinal. Coming possibly on Wednesday. Now just creeping up on 6 p.m. Eastern, about an hour to go until the evening session kicks off here in Arthur Ashe Stadium. The first match, Maria Sharapova against Carla Suarez Navarro, 2 top 30 women in the world. Ljubicic giving Federer a little nod, pleased with how his serve is looking in this warm-up. Still very humid out here in Flushing Meadows, but starting to cool down considerably. Another day where the extreme heat policies were in effect. Of course, the extreme heat policies implementing an optional 10-minute break between 3rd and 4th sets for the men's matches, between 2nd and 3rd sets for women's and junior matches around the grounds. Temperatures reaching well over 100 degrees on court. Roger Federer was also a finalist here at the Open in 2015, where he lost to Novak Djokovic. Federer looking for his first U.S. Open crown since 2008. Federer was the 2nd youngest player to reach the career Grand Slam, just 27 years old. Roger Federer taking a couple returns. His opponent, John Millman, reached his first career ATP final earlier this year, that in the Hungarian Open, the ATP 250, losing to Marco Cecchinato in the final. Millman, known as one of the most polite players on tour, he often thanks his supporters after matches. Sometimes during, as he was making his way up in the Futures and Challengers circuit, he would even hand out drinks from his bag out to fans in the crowd. Millman now, of course, here on the big stage in the fourth round of the U.S. Open, ready for an evening match in Arthur Ashe Stadium against one of the greatest players of all time, Roger Federer. Federer with a cross-court angled return there as our cameraman tries to dodge the incoming ground stroke. Millman has won 18 titles on the Futures and Challengers Tour. Most recently coming in France in February, where he defeated Bernard Tomic, fellow Aussie. Roger Federer captured his 20th Grand Slam earlier this year at the Australian Open, where he had a very tough 5-set battle against Marin Cilic. Cilic is on court right now facing David Goffin. Cilic, a former U.S. Open champion. Federer taking that one 6-1 in the fifth. Federer now taking a few serves from the ad side of the court. And as Roger Federer takes his last couple serves of the day, we'll be heading off court in just a few minutes to head into the locker room and prepare for his match later tonight as they start to ready the court for the evening matches to come. We are going to step away for the evening as well, but make sure you come back and join us again tomorrow. Joey Brander will be back with you once again. 10 a.m. tomorrow, Sloane Stephens, the defending women's champion, will have her practice session live right here on U.S. Open social media. We'll also be bringing you live practice sessions from John Isner at 10:30 a.m., Juan Martín del Potro at 11 a.m., and Serena Williams and Rafa Nadal tomorrow afternoon as they prepare for their evening session matchups. Joey Brander here with you live all tournament long. Thank you, of course, for joining us for this Day 8 of the 50th U.S. Open. We'll see you tomorrow.